5 past now, and anybody else that wants to join can do. Thank you, Kay, who has just started recording this meeting so that anybody who wasn't able to join and wants to hear from us can benefit from the same information. Just to introduce myself, my name is Julie Slevin and I work for the UK Kidney Association in the Quality Improvement arm, which is KQIP, and I'm leading on the PREM strategy. And we've got PREM about to start on Monday, and this is a very timely time to have the meeting. I've just introduced everybody that's here. So Kay, would you like to go first?
Sure, I'm Kay. I work with Julie at the UKKA at KQIP, and I'm running the PREM Ops. So some of you may have heard from me in the last few weeks, gathering details from you. I'm just going to take some notes and listen in. But going forward, if you guys need anything from an operational point of view for PREM, then please do reach out to me. Extra business cards, posters, etc. That will come through me.
Brilliant. Thank you, Kay. Laura, would you like to go next?
Hi, I'm Laura. I work for the South West Renal Network. I do the admin. And again, if there's anything you need any help or advice with, just you can come through us as well.
Perfect. Thank you. And Victoria?
Hi, I'm Vicky. I'm the admin manager for Renal in Exeter.
Thanks, Vicky. I'm sorry to address you in the way that your mother would, but I'll probably do that with everybody who's got formal names. So
well, that's the thing. It's Victoria on my thing, so I do feel like I'm being told off. And I call Victoria.
Okay, thank you, Vicky. Natalie.
Hi, I'm Natalie. I'm the clinical admin lead for renal at Trellis, but we sort of cover all of Cornwall. There's 3 renal units, and then we're trying to get stuff out on letters as well to patients.
Fantastic. That's really
what
good.
I just want to ask though, we've been sent the QR code. Would someone be able to send me the web link as well? Just because I don't think all the patients will.
Absolutely. I'll stick that in the chat for you now, Natalie.
Lovely. Thank you.
There we go. We've already started helping. That's really good, isn't it? Christine, would you like to go next?
Hi, my name's Christine Davids. I'm the sister of West Cornwall Renal Unit in Penzance.
Nice to meet you. Lovely place to
meet
be.
you.
And Jay, are you able to unmute yourself? I haven't been able to hear you yet. So we might come back. Jay, if you manage to unmute yourself or turn your camera on, then just butt in at any time. That'll be absolutely fine. Abigail.
Hello, I'm Abby and I'm the Speciality Coordinator for the Renal Department here in Plymouth.
Lovely. Welcome, Abby. And there's Jennifer McDermott.
Hi, I'm Jen. I'm the lead nurse for dialysis CKD and AKA at Plymouth.
Lovely. That's great. I think I've said hello to everybody. It's only Jay that I haven't been able to see or hear. Maybe introduce, give us a wave or introduce yourself in the chat box if you'd like to. There we go. And Kay's just shared that link. So I am going to share a few slides which I've put together. I want this to be a very informal and inclusive meeting. So please interrupt. Don't let me go on like a train. If there's any questions as we go, just please do ask, and I will stop. I'll take a breath and stop talking. So I'm just going to put them onto slide mode so you can see them a bit more clearly. We've covered this part of it. So just for today, we've had a welcome, and as I've mentioned, Kay is recording the call for us. Please raise your hand or call out if you have a question. Whilst I'm presenting, I can't actually see you, but Kay will be able to tell me if anybody's got their hand up, so please do that. And the agenda is to talk to you about the PREM portal. We'll come on to that shortly. The data collection. This is really to focus on your data collection for PREM 2023. A little bit about PREM Champion role, and then looking at reviewing your PREM outcomes and quality improvement plans for the coming year. And then finally, a chance to talk to each other about challenges and sharing ideas and anything else that you want to talk about. So first of all, this is our list of PREM champions as we have them. So does this look right to everybody? Am I missing anybody? Or is anybody incorrect? Please speak up.
It all looks okay for Royal Cornwall.
Great, thank you.
There
All
is
good for
a
Plymouth.
change. Sorry, there is a change needs to be done for Royal Devon and Exeter.
Okay,
So I've taken over from Ali Wilson, so it'll be me and Lucy Murray. Lucy,
Lovely.
Lucie.
I do have a note of that, but I've pulled this off the spreadsheet that I haven't edited on. I'm really sorry. I have taken
That's
Ali
fine.
off. Don't worry.
That's fine, thank you.
Great, thank you very much. That's brilliant. Anything else from anybody? Okay, all right then, we'll move on. But if you think of anything, then just as I say, in the chat box or hands up as we go. So to be what does it mean to be a PREM champion? Hopefully you can tell me what it means, and how can you achieve the goal of getting the best possible response from your PREM 2023. This is some ideas of what we think a PREM champion is. If you think it's anything else, if you think it's anything more or less, really love to hear from you. So first of all, attend your training. We've got today, and we've also set up a kind of an ongoing meeting in October, which is really to sort of talk about how it's going, address any challenges, and I'd encourage you to come along to that as well if you can. Make a plan for the next 8 weeks. As you know, it starts on Monday and it's lasting for 8 weeks this year. So who do you need to get involved? When are people going to do things, and how, and what are they going to do? Make a plan, and it's always makes life much easier, makes it go much more smoothly if you've got a clear plan of how you're going to be doing it. Give education about PREM to your staff and patients. And I guess on the next thing I've said, so pitch it in a way that patients can understand. So do they know what PREM is? And I'm sure they don't. So how else can you describe it so that a patient understands what it is that you're talking to them about? So is it that having a patient voice, doing the annual patient survey? How are you going to pitch it with your patients? It's also important that you identify any difficulties in accessing the digital PREM, because it is just a digital only this year. So want you to, and we'll come on to that shortly, but really understand how you're going to get on with doing it digital only this year. Capture and share any learning as we go. I hope that's going to start today, and we can share. So what I hear from other regions, I can share with you, and likewise, I can share your really good ideas with other regions, and obviously credit you for it. Support your patients with their digital access, and it's thinking about who it is that you're going to target, and we'll come along to that a little bit while as well. And then this really important area of talking about the results afterwards and taking some action on them. So it's not just a tick box exercise. We ask the questions and we don't do anything with it. I'm sure, like me, you all spend time doing a lot of feedback and filling out a lot of questionnaires, and you just feel much more valued if you're told how your voice is going to be heard and how what you do is going to make a difference.
Can I just ask something?
You can.
Number one, you're saying so hemodialysis, transplant patients and home hemo. It used to always include CKD patients as well. So has that changed?
No,
it
hasn't.
Staff. Okay.
Yeah, that's just not on that slide yet, but it is for absolutely. It's really just getting you to think about who is it you're going to target, and it's about including everybody should have a voice.
And secondly, I know there was a lot of feedback from patients saying they wanted it on paper, not on IT, and for some of our satellite users, so one of our satellite users is an 1.5 hour drive away. So if we want those patients to actually participate, someone's either got to do a 3-hour drive there to going there and back, just drop off an iPad, or we've got to try and get them to engage on logging on. And when you've got patients of certain ages, they just won't do things like that. So we've always sent out paper questionnaires to those areas. So what was the rationale for not doing paper when it's so much easier for a lot of our patients?
Yeah, and I completely understand that. So the biggest thing was that last year we sent out 1,500 paper surveys. Now, you've all seen those paper surveys. They're not just one sheet, are they? It's a big pile of paper. And out of those 15,000 surveys that we sent out, we received 4,000 back. So that's 11,000 big piles of paper that have gone into fueling our global warming. And of those that came back, quite a large proportion were not able to be used because they have to be scanned through a computer, and if they're not filled out completely correctly, the scanning just doesn't work. But moreover, one thing that is lost using the paper survey is the comments, and we find the comments are so valuable and important. We can't record comments when they're written down, but we can when they go into the digital, when they go on the digital, because we've got a way of collecting that and analysing it. So patients can leave free text comments, and that's a potential for further learning. As I mentioned, it is more environmentally friendly, and as I say, more importantly, we get the more complete data. And I know
could you not though send a format so that if units did need to print it off, they could print it off themselves? So that the areas where it's really hard to get the patient to do IT, that you could print it off yourself and then give it to the patients.
But we don't have any way of analysing it. That's the problem. It can only be analysed if it goes into the digital system. So we did do digital only during COVID, if you remember, and we were really amazed at the results that we got. So this is going to be a year for learning. We're going to be learning about making sure that everybody is given a chance to be heard, and I'll come on to that shortly. And we're going to be learning, you know, how we get on. If I just quickly show you, so you can see. Here's the paper surveys that we received. See, there was 4,033. So only 36.5% of the surveys were paper only. Now that's a really large amount of people. You could say that might feel that they haven't got their voice heard, and we do want to capture that, and I'll come on to that in a moment. But you can see that in the Southwest, for example, 71% of your patients were able to complete it. Nearly 72% were able to complete it online. So as I can hear you, and we do have a digital subgroup where we're talking about all of these kinds of things, and I want to capture this. This is all the part of capturing learning. But I do hope that you'll be able to see the value of doing it in this way. And we'll talk shortly about some ideas for ensuring that we do get the digital responses this year.
With regards to the online ones, because there was a question of have you had help filling this out? Did you just split between how many patients actually needed help to do it and who didn't?
I haven't got that in this survey, but I can find out for you. Yeah. So, because that will be really valuable, won't it? So I'm just taking a note of that. I'll just go a little bit further. So this is the paper versus online for the Southwest, and you can see. So which unit would be yours for this?
Plymouth, Truro.
The Plymouth, yeah. So yes, Truro was the only unit that we received more paper returns than the online ones. We would want to make sure that we capture this, you know, and see what happens this year. As I mentioned, the PREM should be available to everybody, so please do capture people who do feel excluded from participating, either because they can't complete it in the unit, because you haven't got equipment, or nobody is able to help them at home, or for any other reason. Now, people have been telling us how they're going to address doing PREM digital only this year. And one of the things that people have tapped into is, in COVID, there was the, sorry, I'm going too far. In COVID, there were the Lifeline IT options. So that there were tablets and laptops provided to each trust so that loved ones could communicate with their families whilst they were in hospital and they couldn't receive any visitors. So you might find somewhere within your trust there are a lot of those bits of kit available that could be used for in your units for completing the surveys online. Use of patient volunteers, and I'm hoping that as we go through the PREMS Champion support this year, this top tips page will become full of other ideas and suggestions that people have had for enabling their patients to use the digital PREM this year. Has anybody else thought of anything that they're going to do for the digital only PREM this year?
We've bought some more tablets through our charitable fund, so we can send one out to each of our units. There's 7 units, including our main site one. So we will have a tablet in each of our units to try and capture all of our patients. And we've got our nurses, our home care nurses, and our technicians go out to each of the sites. So it's quite easy for us to get things out to the other satellite units.
That's really great. So sorry, which unit are you from? Sorry, I can't see you.
We're from Exeter.
Exeter. That's really great. Thank you. So I will add that to my list of top tips. Would that help in Truro at all?
So Jules spends a lot of time with the patients up at Trelisk, literally taking the iPad to them and doing the survey with them.
Yes.
I don't know what Christine does at West Cornwall.
Yeah,
do you find you spend a lot of time with them?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Francie, who's unfortunately not available at the moment because she's doing something else for us. Absolutely, yeah. We're quite fortunate. We're only a small unit, so we've got probably a little bit more time than other units have got. So Francis is, I tend to go around as well and sort with Francis prior to. So what we're doing now is we're almost pitching PREM, and we have been for the last sort of 2 or 3 weeks, so that we're doing a bit of a countdown with the patients and trying to involve them with the date, and it seems to be working. You know, we're sort of doing a bit of a countdown, so but very similar to Truro, yeah, enabling, asking them if they require any support and help, and a lot of them do because they're not computer literate. And that is just because basically their age really, and they haven't engaged and have never been able and never had to engage with
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean to say we haven't got 80-year-olds who are completely computer literate. Of course we have. So that's where we are with West Cornwall, sort of doing a bit of a countdown at the moment.
Brilliant. One idea that somebody else mentioned, which I haven't put on the top tips, and I will add it for my next presentation, is that one unit, and you do have to think about your governance and those kinds of things with this. I'm not saying this is a simple solution, but there were members of staff who had older teenagers that were hoping to pursue a career in medicine, and they were coming on, volunteering to come onto the ward and spend time supporting patients to do the PREM in the dialysis centres and in the wards, and that worked out really well. So because that was good for those teenagers as well, because of course they can put that on their CV that they've spent time in a clinical setting. So that's another suggestion that might bear fruit. Is there anything else that anybody's thought about? Well, maybe when we meet in October, you will have some more ideas. Let's hope.
Oh, so, like I said just a moment ago, we put it on our patient letters. So we put the QR link and the web links as well. The home dialysis team, they promote it in clinic. So do the CKD nurses. They take everything to clinic with them, and they try and take a tablet up with them so they can do it with patients in clinic.
Brilliant.
It's just them having the support.
Yeah.
So they know what they're doing, really.
Yeah. Well, these are really great ideas. Thank you. So we'll just move on now to one of the reasons I said that was useful with the digital PREM was the number of comments that come back. So have you seen your comments reports?
No, we haven't at Derriford. I keep asking for it. Haven't been sent anything.
Okay. Kay can organise for the comments report. So there's 69 patients left to comment that you can have. So all of you that are here, we have permission to send you the comments reports. So if you haven't seen those, then do ask us, and we'll very happily send them. As you can see, here's the number. There's a lot of comments coming in, and they're so valuable, those comments in when you're planning your quality improvement projects. So if you want your comments report and you haven't seen it, they were all sent to the CDs. So either ask a CD if you can see the comments report, or ask Kay and she will send those to you. So if you haven't seen them, I can share them. But there's some really fantastic information, and the majority of the comments, don't be too afraid, because the majority of the comments are very positive. Patients want to share their good experiences with you and to thank you for what you've been doing for them. So do ask to have a look at them. Okay, so a bit about uptake and goal setting. So do you think that you would like to set yourselves a regional goal this year for completion? I've shown you some figures, and here I was thinking about how we can think about sort of making some goals. In one of the regions that I've been supporting, they have a little competition and a prize between the dialysis units. So whichever satellite has the highest number of, or the highest proportion of completed PREM service attributed to them wins a prize. In Wales, they have a goal that every patient on renal replacement therapy should be offered to complete the survey. So it'd be really great to hear if you do have a goal. This is comes with a caveat. This is old information from the UK Renal Registry report. So it's based on data from 2021, and it only includes your renal replacement therapy population. Doesn't include all your greater proportion of CKD patients. But it's just to give you a bit of an idea of maybe numbers, maybe proportions of what you would like to do. Have you got any thoughts about that, about having a goal? Okay, so how about Plymouth? What do you think?
For us, our geography is going to be our problem, and that's where the paper ones came really handy, because we do nephrology and CKD clinics in 5 external hospitals, and literally be one of the doctors or one of the nurses literally going out on their own. We can't leave a tablet with patients because it could just walk, because we have to use general waiting areas. And we don't have staff, we don't have volunteers that we can ask to drive out to these clinics either. So I'm concerned that we are not going to have as good a response, because we are cutting off quite a lot of patients that we would normally get responses from. And we did exactly the same with like transplant patients who aren't seen frequently, they got sent out. We did the same with CKD patients, that we weren't going to be able to, they weren't going to be seen in that 6-week period, and we sent the paper ones out to them. So at the moment I'm not quite sure what goal we would set.
So do you think you can use the business cards? Can you have a supply of those, you know, for people to scan the QR code and do it themselves? And do you think you can do the on your clinic letters have the link in those?
But the patients who are getting the clinic letter sent through are ones that are going to be in clinic now, because it's only come through recently, so they'll have been seen, and we'll have tried to ask them. Our average age for our CKD population is high 70s, and that's why we've always struggled with them, that someone's literally had to sit there with the tablet and go through it, because they're not able to do it. Their upper halves aren't able to do it. Our transplant population is young, so they may well, but again, our dialysis population is quite old as well. I've got a 96-year-old, and there's no way he's going to be able to scan out a QR code, let alone do a tablet. He's, you know, so I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just being realistic, and this is what we came across last time, that we don't have spare people we can send out to just spend time getting these done with a an iPad or anything else. But
it'll be really interesting to see, won't it, what happens? And you know, and I hope that you can take some of the tips and hints from other areas, and that it is successful for you. So I think your goal then would be just to get, to see what it's like, to promote it as much as you can, to use the QR codes where you can, to and see how you get, your goal will be to get some responses in, I imagine. What will you be happy with?
If we can get over 100, I'd be happy.
There we are. So there you
Yeah.
go. There's your goal.
Yeah. I mean, like last year when we did all the iPads last year, and literally, anyone who was free had to go round, and 90% of the patients could not do it on their own. It was really hard. So that's then someone, and it's a lot of questions for you to stand there answering them. And they don't necessarily want to answer questions when a nurse is there, because they feel they're going to offend you if they say, oh, actually, I'm not happy about this or that. So
absolutely.
Yeah. If we can get at least half our population, that'd be great.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Sorry that I pushed you, but thank you for thank you for coming up with a goal, because I think it's really important. Have we got anybody from Dorset? Did anybody manage to join us from Dorset? I know a couple of people have joined more recently. Okay, I will take the silence. And how about Gloucestershire? Is that the same? Have we got anybody from Gloucester? Okay, so Cornwall, you've got two sides, haven't you there? What do you think you would like to do for your goal?
I know Cornwall do struggle, and they do have to spend a lot of time with patients to get these done.
Yes.
So yeah, probably a bit like Plymouth, that just really whatever we can get, we could sort of set the same sort of one, about 100.
Okay. Oh, I hope you're all going to be really overjoyed with your responses. I really do. I'm hopeful. And there was another Cornwall centre as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, Penzance. Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you think?
I think we did very well last year. Very pleased with our responses. And as I said, we're a little bit smaller. We've probably got a little bit more time, so we will utilise that and hopefully aim for as good as we were last year.
Yeah. Okay. So should we say as good as last year? Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely. And Bristol. And Jay, can you type something in the comments box if we got anybody else from Bristol now?
Hi, it's Lisa, the matron.
Oh, hello, Lisa.
Hello. Yeah, I mean, obviously we would like to do a bit better than we did before. Our scores aren't as good as they should be. So I'm hoping to probably get about 20% more than what we've previously had. It's a big ask, but we will try. We've got in all of our units now, we have something called a tiny tablet, which is not very tiny. It's the size of a very large TV, which is very easy for people to use because it's very large and easy to access. So we're hoping that will make some difference as well for the digital response.
That sounds amazing. So what's that? Is it like a computer on wheels type thing, is it?
It's exactly the same as an iPad, but it's for LD and autistic and anyone with sensory difficulties. It's easier to use. It makes noises and they can just tap it, and it's very good. It just brings some calm to some of those patients that are really difficult. So we put those in the waiting areas and also by the patients that want to use it a little bit more. It's got little games on it in that, but it also obviously you're able to get onto the internet, so hopefully we will increase our numbers, but I'm not promising. That's what I'm just going to say.
That sounds but what a great thing to have, and really brilliant to hear that you want to improve your last year's figures by 20%. That's fantastic. So yeah, well done. That's really great. What about anybody else? Is there anybody else who I haven't, because I can't see you? You can hide quite easily, but please speak up if I haven't spoken to you and you'd like to have your voice heard. Sounded a bit like a school teacher, didn't it? Sorry about that. Okay, so we'll just quickly move on to the reason for doing the PREM, and that's about reviewing the outcome and your quality improvement plans. Have you all had a chance to have a look at the PREM portal? Anybody not been able to access the PREM portal?
I haven't looked at it yet, but I've just been on 2 weeks leave. So.
Okay. Oh, well, okay. Well, let me. So. I mean, I thought that I would spend a moment now, and I'll stop sharing my screen for a moment, because I thought I would share with you the PREM page, so you can see what happens when you land on the page and where you go to from there. What was that question? Will the community team be given a separate QR code this year? It's just one code, isn't it? One QR code. Okay.
Yeah, if you mean unit code, no, I'd keep using the same code that you usually would. But the QR code is the same for everyone. It's the same link, and then you select your unit once you get through to the PREM portal page.
Thank you. Thanks, Kay. So for anybody that hasn't had a chance to have a look, when you this is the landing page for the PREM, and as you scroll down, you'll see various bits of information that might be useful for you. So first of all, if you want to sort of get it off pat a bit about why it is we're going digital this year, that's all easily explained just here. Okay, so if that's useful for you, you know, to get your blurb together in the back of your head when people start asking you why it's digital only, this is why. And then we've got various things available. So we've got the full 2022 report, and then there's shorter things. There's a highlight report. There's a poster showing the key findings, and then there's a poster which you can use yourself to put your scores in compared with national findings. Now, why am I telling you that? Well, as you might know, every year in PREM, we have an opportunity to have 3 additional questions without affecting the validation of the whole PREM. And one of the 3 questions that's in addition this year is, has anybody in your kidney unit spoken to you about PREM 2022 findings? So that's your opportunity now, between now and Monday, or between now and when you ask your patients to start completing the PREM, make sure you've said to them, oh, this is how we did last year, did you know? And this is what we've done about it. So that's a little special thing just for you, because I'm speaking to you before the PREM's launched. There's also the comments report. So I said to you that having the digital only means that we get this really rich data with full of patients' comments. These are anonymised report comments, but it'll tell you how many comments were received by each centre. And if the patient has consented, as I said, a report is sent to your CD, or Kay can send it to you. Key findings from the comments, and then we've got the PREM portal with the centre level data, and that's got the last 3 years of findings, and you can look at your scores over times. And then we've also, for anybody that's got children's units, we've got last year, as you know, it was the first year that we had the paediatric PREM, and we are having another paediatric one this year. So there's information there, and then there's additional things here. So there's appendices, there's graphs, there's instructions on how to use the portal, the number of surveys and responses per centre. These things all come out as downloadable Excel spreadsheets. Themes, age, treatment types, satellites by theme, and the paediatric ones. And then finally, this will all be updated, Kay, won't it? Before Monday. There'll be the things that you'll need with sort of links to the posters and the business cards and guidance. So everything's there that will help to support you to get the best out of your PREM for this year. Just going to reshare my presentation. Has anybody got any questions? Because I do feel like I'm talking and going on. As I said, I do tend to go on like a train, and you have to stop me if you want to ask any questions. I mentioned the poster that you can. It's called an empty belly poster, and that's because when you go onto it and download it, it's got this area with noughts, and you can when you go onto it online, you can put your own scores in. And then you can put any quality improvement plans in there, so that can go on display in any key areas that you would like it to go into. A little bit about the last 3 years of the PREM. So this is a really brief outcome and summary of the last 3 years of themes. Themes that have been consistently low performing are the support, the transport, and the sharing your decisions. And the 3 things that have been consistently the better performing have been privacy and dignity, patient information, and access. Last year, for 2022, patient information and tests fell as compared to previous years, and you can see that on those blue lines on the graph. Most of you probably would have seen this already, so I just wanted to quickly touch on it, so you can see the kind of thing that you can get by going onto that PREM portal. Be helpful for you. Okay, so finally, it's over to you and a chance to have a discussion. So we have spoken a little bit about challenges. I think I'll stop sharing my screen so that I can see everybody. So we have spoken a little bit about challenges. Has anybody got anything else that they wanted to bring up on the challenges of this year that they haven't already had a chance to say, or anything else they want to go over? Would anybody like any support from one another? So does anybody want to know how the Bristol got hold of their tiny tablets, for example? Okay, well, you're a very shy group. Any other really good ideas that you've thought of that you're going to use this year in order to increase your participation? Anything? And has anybody heard anything today that they think, oh, that's a good idea, I'm going to start doing that from now?
The only thing we've done this year is we've gone to, I can't remember who they are, but we've asked for some volunteers to come and help the patients with the survey, so they can go to like most of the units.
That's really good. So yes, your kidney patients networks, your kidney patients associations, many of them are really keen to help support the PREM. So find them out and ask them to help you, particularly those who are having trouble getting people to support completing the PREM in the units.
We've got some self-caring patients down at West Cornwall, bit probably like Trelisk, who come in, line their own machines. And last year they were fantastic because they engaged with some of our older patients who are on the same shift as them, and they engaged in the conversation and said, look, I've done this on my computer, you know, I can help you. So we did have some engagement from our sort of younger and even our older patients who were sharing with older patients that their skills in IT. So that went down quite well as well. So yeah,
oh, that's brilliant. A bit of patient to patient support.
Yeah,
I guess if they're seeing each other 3 times a week, they do you know, they do get relationships.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Well, that's really helpful. Thank you, Christine. Anything else anybody's thought of that they're going to do? Is anybody thinking about teenagers that they might see if they can recruit? Well, it's worth having a think. You might think about it, and you know, so you might get a bit of a sort of a light bulb moment over the next few days that you might want to use. And please come to us if there's anything that we can do as a PREM team to support you. As Kay mentioned, we can send out additional resources to you in terms of the QR codes and the posters. But if you suddenly come up with a brilliant idea that you think, oh, this can't wait until October, I need to share it now, then just please send it in to us, because we want to hear. We want all of you to benefit as much as you can from the PREM this year. So apart from our follow-up call in October, I'd like to propose that we have an after action review. So perhaps sometime in later on in November or early in December, bring you all together again to talk about what worked really well. By then we won't have a full report, but we will have some numbers and those kinds of things, so we can share those with you. You can talk about what worked, what didn't work, and what we can learn for PREM 2024. So with your permission, I'd like to bring you all together again at the end to set that up. Is this a good day and time? Tuesday afternoon? Yeah. Oh, that's really brilliant.
It's
That's
Wednesday today.
Oh, beg your pardon, it is Wednesday.
yeah.
Do you know, I'm soon to go on annual leave, and I think I'm sort of trying to fit so much in. I think all my days are melding into one. Thank you. Wednesday afternoons then are good days. Okay, I will set up a call for a sort of Wednesday lunchtime in later on in November, when we've got some, just as I say, we won't have findings, but we'll have some numbers that we can share with you. So, well, I mean, I love giving people, thank you, Kay, that's absolutely brilliant. I love giving people a gift, and you know, it's 15 minutes a good gift to give you. unless there's any further questions, and as I said, please do come to us. We are very approachable. Email us or call us. We'd like to help you to get the best out of PREM this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Thank you all for your time.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks then, bye.
Bye.
So just Jay left. I don't think Jay was ever managed to properly join. You're on mute.
Jay's been able to type, so we've had
Oh,
some
that's good. Yeah.
typed responses.
Okay. Do you want to stop the recording?
Yeah, just making sure everyone's
Yeah.
gone.